What's going on, everyone? We are one day away. It seems like, or a couple of days away by the time this video airs, from another Panini WWE product that's going to be released here. One of my favorite sets of the year. I think Impeccable has been, kind of one of those products for football that I've always loved. They've brought it to a number of different sports, but last year they brought it to WWE. It was great. I'm really excited to have a panel here. New face to the channel as well. So we're going to do some introductions here. Let Edgar introduce himself, and then we'll get into the talk about different aspects of the checklist and the product that we're excited about, things that we're not so excited about, and then just kind of some overall thoughts. But Edgar, I want to give you a chance to introduce yourself. You're kind of new to the channel. Tell them a little bit about kind of how you got into wrestling cards, what your focus is, and then talk about your channel on Whatnot and Facebook group, just to give you the plugs there as well. So,
All right,
Edgar,
cool.
welcome to WTC.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, so I got into wrestling cards in 2021. I think I got into cards overall in 2020 after COVID.
Yep.
I've always watched wrestling since I was a kid, but I honestly never knew about cards when it came to wrestling. So I was just didn't know about it. My brother and I started just going through Select 2022 and we started liking it. And that's kind of how I got into breaking it, because it kind of satisfies my itch of breaking, because
We've all been there.
I'm not running cases, and I enjoy kind of breaking what I do. So I'm known for GhostBreakers on IG, and then on Whatnot started there with single boxes. Now I do case breaks, so I'm happy about that. And I just recently started a Facebook group, just to get people, trading, buying, selling breaks, because I feel like it's a different platform than Whatnot. Whatnot, the fees are killing you, the shipping's killing you, things like that. So I do notice that with people, just they prefer to do it on Facebook, a little cheaper, so I'm doing that. So that's a little bit about me when it comes to that.
And you have an absolutely killer collection you've built in a few years. What if you had to say your most prized possession right now? What would that be?
It's all in front of me.
Uh,
I recently acquired the Rock Gold Shimmer from FOTL out of 3. It's a 1 out of 3. That is one of my top cards, I would say. It's the Rock.
It's a big one.
It's a big one. It's the Rock. I definitely have changed my mentality from when I started collecting cards. I was collecting kind of just whatever came, whatever I liked. So I kind of changed my direction and just collecting, I would say, GOATs. So Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, Rhea, Roman, things like that. So I do have a pretty sick collection. People are always trying to bite off it, but I try to just keep it. And yeah, I've only started collecting late 2022, and I have this plus a lot more slabs. So I'm proud of my collection.
Yeah, that Rock Prism Gold Shimmer from the debut is just such an awesome card. And I saw it. I actually did see it pulled, because I think it was pulled on Wholesale's channel during when he was ripping all of those, and then it was put on Golden a few weeks ago. But man, what a card! I'm definitely jealous. That thing is awesome.
This card I think was already sold once on PWCC.
Oh, so it's a different one. Okay.
It's a different one. Yeah, the one that you're talking about, Wholesale Junior, that one was wrong. This one, I saw that it sold about a year ago as well. I was able to snag it a little cheaper than it last time, so good for me. But yeah, it's been pulled for a while. I don't know. I think that was the one that Junior pulled was 3 out of 3. So the 2 out of 3 is still somewhere in someone's
floating around
shop
out there.
Yeah.
All right. And Ryan, my partner in crime, how you doing, sir? Welcome back.
Wonderful.
We've been a while since we've done one of these.
Well, we had that lull for a while where there was not a product coming out, wasn't a lot of information coming out while the companies all fought each other. So now we're kind of past that. We got some new stuff coming out, and I would expect the wheels to turn here a little more quickly. So, and we can get some more information out on this stuff. So, up and down. It's not like baseball where we have something every 3 weeks. It's
Yeah.
it's picking up, but it's not at that level yet. So I mean, it's good. The stuff is spaced out. It gives everybody a chance to kind of get it, digest it, go on from there. You know, the problem with the stick and ball sports, as we call them on here, is that by the time you understand a product and you've gotten a chance to look at it, it's like, bam, here's the next one. Okay, bam, here's the next one. Bam, bam, bam. And sometimes it's 4 or 5 products a month, which is crazy, absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
So I actually don't mind the spacing though. But I'm Ryan Shear. You guys know me. I'm on these videos all the time. Instagram, non-sport showcase. So here we go. Impeccable. Doing it again.
Yeah, you know, and Elite is cooking, right? Like, I mean, Edgar, you've broken a lot of Elite. I've participated in a lot of your breaks. I mean, I think like that set really surprised the hell out of me. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I expected to go into that product and absolutely hate it. I think it's been a lot of fun. The cards look great. I have a feeling Impeccable is going to be similar in terms of like the cards being great, but man, the price is that much more larger than anything. The FOTL Dutch auction went down last week, $1,000 a box. So it's going to be interesting, Edgar. I know you got a case. What like when you saw this price and you saw it kind of going down the way that it has, with starting at Blowout and DA and everybody had it at like $1,000 for hobby, and then we saw the Dutch auction start at 1,500. What was your thoughts kind of going into FLTL? What's your thoughts overall on the price here? Because we have some pointed feedback. I have a feeling here.
Yeah, the pricing. I mean, more on the breaker side, I guess. With the pricing, I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, it's Blowout started. David and Adam started at like what 1,200 a box, so 3,600 a case. Like those are numbers that I mean, it's you can't. As a breaker, it's hard to break, So and as a consumer like me, I mean, I rip a lot of stuff for myself still, and that's just not worth the risk. I know that today this is a risk when we open cards and things like that, but it's difficult to like. I mean, you're not going to make your money back. I mean, unless you're hitting a 1-1, So the pricing, that the Dutch thing, I was expecting it to go down. I mean, obviously everything goes down. Dutch. I was the last. I think I was one of the last ones to get a case because I waited all the way to the bottom. I pressed it, it went through, and then I went back for another one. The time that I went back, it was sold out. So it's just something that I hope that it helps. I mean, I think it's good that it got down to 1,000 because it's going to help out the hobby. The regular Impeccable. I already see the pricing on that drop a little bit. So in that sense, it is going to help, but it's still a hard move. I mean, even you're looking at 800 a box, 2,400 a case. That is a hard move as a breaker, of course. But even for individually people buying cases, I mean, you're looking. That's like football numbers, basketball numbers. Those cases, and with wrestling, it's not there. It's hard.
I think the community is smaller, right? Like there's just not enough of a marketplace built to support a product at that level. And when you see, like, I was looking on Card Ladder yesterday or the day before, and there's only been like 5 or 6 cards legitimately sold above case price that they have 2023 at. So like if you're even looking at 1,000, it's under 30 cards that have sold over $1,000. Most of them are either 101s, the gold bars, or the big sort of like number cards that are low numbered. But like I just don't see it, man. And when you see dealer cost hasn't gone up either. So like if you think of this isn't really Panini saying, well, okay, this is going to cost $1,000 a box, put it at $1,000 a box or 1,200. Dealer cost on this was still around $450, $400, same as last year. So like it really hasn't gone up enough to necessitate a 2-fold increase in price.
I was looking at the case that I bought last year for Impeccable, and I paid $1,500 for FOTL. Like it's double in the price now. So I just don't understand. And I know we're going to talk about the checklist a little bit, but in comparison to checklist, this checklist is just very weak, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's very weak. It's a lot of wrestlers we're expecting to sign and aren't signing, but I feel like that's also a transition into the future, and it's telling us like where Panini is headed into the future as well.
Ryan?
I would agree 100%. I take a look at this checklist, and the reason when I was opening sports back in like 2017, 2018. I've been a collector since I was 7 years old in 1987. But I really stopped opening wax after 2018. That's when I really stopped. And then COVID hit and everything went crazy. And there's just no reason to open it as a single person. Anyway, the reason I didn't open Panini basketball is because I couldn't justify in my head paying those prices and not having a shot at Jordan or LeBron autographs. That was my problem with opening Panini basketball. I see the same issue here. Where is The Rock? Seriously, enough is enough. Like, where is The Rock? It's enough of this. He's back in the fold. I get it. Maybe not for this product, but if I'm spending $1,000 a box for what, 6 cards, and I'm getting Wendy Richter and Don Morocco, it's not good enough. Yeah. It's not good enough, guys. It's just not good enough. And there's so much from this checklist that's missing. I'd rather go back and open last year's if I was going to spend that money.
Yeah, I think last year's was a really good price at $400. Like, you had a really good shot at pulling some nice stuff. I mean, like you said, like it's like you were saying, Edgar, like case price was $1,500, give or take. And like you had a decent shot of getting a $500, $600 card per case because those number cards were selling for enormous money. The bar cards were selling nicely. The patch autographs were selling nicely. Like, things were selling okay, but even then, it was still a struggle to make back $400 a box.
Yeah.
Like it was a struggle, and the market was buying it. Impeccable is hard to find now because there were so few cases of it. Now there's more cases of it. Theoretically, according to what we saw on the lawsuit discovery, there's 115 FOTL cases. There's like 2,200 hobby cases. Maybe allocations were cut. Maybe that's what spurred DA and blowout to hyperinflate the price. Crypto's back up, so the hobby's back a little bit, 20-30%. But I just don't see, like, if you pull the 101 Kurt Angle number card, and yeah, maybe it's a $3,000 card. If you pull one of the Undertaker autographs that's 101, or you pull Stone Cold Steve Austin number autograph, like, sure, like those cards are going to have $1,000, $1,500 price tags on them. But outside of that, unless they've got WWE logo patches like they did in Select or Immaculate, like, it's going to be really tough to support the singles to support this box price. Do you not agree?
Yeah, I think flipping wise, like, I mean, it's not going to be there. You know, you're going to buy a spot, and obviously, whether you buy your own box or you buy it in a break, you know, you're buying, I don't know, whoever it might be, like you said, Kurt Angle, you know, but it's just not going to be there. The odds of you hitting the card on top of that, there's 9 cards in a box. There's 27 in a case. It's hard. Also, and then even if you break it yourself, you're taking a risk. I mean, even at $800, I mean, shit,
it's huge. Yeah, it's a huge price.
Might as well. I mean, and obviously, I understand. I understand both sides because I do both sides. I understand the breaker side and I understand the customer side, because
that's why I wanted you on. Yeah, exactly.
Is it convenient to buy a $800 box? Probably not. You know, you're not going to hit. I mean, you have the idea of, hey, let's hit this. We're going to hit this. A lot of people just wait up. They wait till certain cards are out, and then they just grab whatever they want to grab. You know.
I mean, that's what I've been forced to do a lot of times because I only collect one person. I know you said you have sort of a limited focus on collecting the best of the best, but I mean, Ryan, you have a limited focus. I mean, there's a lot of things in wrestling that are limited focus in our PCs. So we want our guys, we want to do that, but I don't want to spend $800 a pop to get it. Now, again, I don't know if this all falls on Panini because a lot of this is secondary market driven, but some of it with the FOTL starting at $1,500 and the floor is $750. Last year, the floor was like $250 or $350 or whatever. So they've increased the floor on that as well. So it's not necessarily there without blame.
Yeah, it probably is the aftermarket. I mean, once you see Blowout, Steel City, David Adams start setting it at like 1,200. I mean, I talked to other breakers. They were like, "There's no way, there's no way." And then I feel like once you set that expectation from those companies, Panini kind of has to go with it. You know, they're just like, "All right, well, FLTL will start at 15 and see where it drops," and then that's when everyone else starts.
And it sold out, and people supported it. Like, but again, I think the difference here, and I posted this meme because it just blew my mind. 2022 Prism launched at like over $1,000 a hobby box, $1,250 for FOTL. people lost their shit. Like they were like, there is no way that this should happen. Blah 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 blah. Now it's the same situation with a product that probably like Prism at least produced a 6-figure card. Prism produces 4-figure cards all the time, and they're harder to hit. They're hard to hit, but this is impossible. Like you're literally hunting for 10 cards that are above $1,000, $2,000. But people lost their shit in 2022. Now it sold out at $1,000, and people were still smashing that button trying to get more.
I was trying to get more cases at 1,000. You know what it was? Also, what really bothered me is that the checklist isn't released until after. Like,
yeah,
I mean, obviously, as a breaker like me, I go based off the checklist, and I kind of have an idea. Hey, I'm going to price this, and that. I can get the box at this, and it'll still be good, you know. And even for individuals buying boxes, like I don't understand why Panini does that. They have the checklist. They've been having the checklist. I'm pretty sure. Like, why not release it days before? It's supposed to come out. You know, what are you hiding? You know,
that's a huge miss.
It's what it is that once you see the checklist, and I was talking to other people, you have Tiffany Stratton not signing, you have Thea not signing, you have Maxine not signing. Thea isn't even in the product. I think Maxine is not even in the product either. Those are the big. I mean, for me, Elite, those are the big chases. Those are some of the big chases.
Tiffany is the hottest name in WWE right now. She's selling at Stone Cold levels. It's crazy.
She's selling like Rhea numbers. I mean, I do I say them all the time. People ask for Tiffany more often than they ask for Rhea, Becky, you know, Flair. And for them not to have her an auto, like, not only are you dropping the ball for yourself, but you're dropping the ball in general. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
I would argue that if Tiffany Stratton autographs were in this, it would justify $1,000 a pack.
Absolutely.
Her on card autographed patch cards or whatever the crazy situations that we're going to see, those would easily be $1,000 cards every time.
Right.
Like, sure, her Elite stuff is selling just like a gold sold at $750 recently, gold autograph. Her gold base is selling at $500. Razzle Dazzle selling at $350. Like, it's insane. And like Elite, there's a ton of them. Like, she literally signed a ton of cards. You hit Tiffany, you're hitting 2 a case. Like, it's crazy. She has a lot of autographs, and they're still selling at huge numbers because people are seeing that she's really one of the future stars, even though I think she's around the same age as Rhea Ripley. So her and Rhea are really going to be sort of the future of this hobby. And the fact that she's not in this product in autographs, I don't know why, because she's been in multiple products before this. You know, something must have happened. And she's on their regular signers list. I don't know what went down there. We'll get there here in a second. Let me share my screen here. Hopefully this will work. We can get into some of the checklist here. Hopefully that worked.
Yeah, I see it.
All right, awesome. So let's get into this jumbo auto relics. You know, this is where I thought I chose to start here because these are new cards. We didn't see this last year. This is something that is brand new for this year. I think they look really cool. I think they're going to have bigger swatches than the Immaculate ones. That it looks like they'll have bigger swatches than Immaculate with autographs. They will not have the big jumbo sort of T-shirt size ones that they had in Immaculate that had no autographs. But man, these cards look great. I think the checklist though is a little bit light. We have Roman Reigns. That's probably going to be a redemption. We have, you know, Cody is on this checklist. So this will be Cody's first auto relic that hopefully will be live. We saw him signing some of those. But outside of like Roman and Cody, I mean, there's, you know, Becky's on here. Bliss is on here. You know, Seth Rollins doesn't get a ton of money. Charlotte Flair, maybe not a ton of money. But outside of those guys, there's not a lot here. Reacting to this, Ryan, what are your thoughts kind of seeing who has the jumbo auto relics, the new cards this year?
I mean, this is pretty much the standard roster for WWE products. This is what you'd expect, up and down. You know, I mean, it's cool for like you because you collect Becky. Like she's going to be all over this stuff, right? I mean,
she is, yeah.
There's going to be plenty of options for you, plenty of stuff. I just, I'm just disappointed, man.
No LA
That's
Knight.
all I can say.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not mad. I'm disappointed. I'm gonna bust out the dad line.
Yeah.
Yeah. Going
Like,
to
I'm
be
just disappointed because, like, Finn Balor,
Yeah.
okay, great. Bobby Lashley, okay, great. I just
And these are these do have FOTL parallels, so the ones of these will be out of 4. From what I'm seeing
great.
on the checklist. So I mean, I
I
don't see LA Knight. I don't see Rhea Ripley, to Edgar's point.
Yeah.
Edgar, you seeing anybody else that's jumping out at you at a miss besides Tiffany Stratton, who we already talked about, and Thea Hale?
I mean, missing wise, I mean, yeah, there's a bunch, but I mean,
Triple H.
Yeah, Triple H, but Triple H isn't even signing. I've heard different things on Triple H. I mean, I heard he's not signing. He refuses to sign. I have redemptions from Triple H, but a lot of these wrestlers, their redemptions in Elite. So what would mean? I mean, I don't think they would even sign. Some might not even be signing. I mean, Seth, I think I've seen his signature. Sammy, no. Roman, I see him signing. Rey Mysterio, he does sign. Kevin Owens is a redemption in Elite. Finn Balor signs. Drew's a redemption. Flair's a redemption. Strowman's a redemption. Bianca signs.
A lot of problems.
Bailey is signing. Asuka signing. Bliss,
Redemption.
Redemption, yeah. Cody, I think he's signing out, and then Bobby, I have seen signature. So out of these, what is it? A couple. What is it? 15.
You're looking at You're not looking at Becky will be live likely. She did have some redemptions in Elite. Sami Zayn was live in Elite. I have one of his cards from Elite. Bianca will be live. Bailey will be live.
Yeah.
Seth will be live. Finn Balor will be live. But there's going to be 5 or 6 guys on here that have redemptions.
Huge issue. I noticed this is the continued lack of legends in these types of sets.
Right. I think that the main issue with that, so the legends usually are not signing at the shows. They're signing at a secondary situation. So when they get Undertaker to sign, he's not trying on the shirts. He's not trying on everything. They're just sending him the cards and he's signing them. Same with Austin. Same with those guys. These are people that they have the room set up at Raw or at Royal Rumble or wherever, where they're able to try on the shirts and get the relics. So I don't think that's why I think that's why we're not seeing the legends on the relic checklists.
I know. I just wish we could see some.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's like that. They're not the legends aren't really signing with memorabilia. It's just like you said. I think they're just getting sent the cards, and then that's like we saw Al Snow just signing a bunch of stuff. So things
Mick
like
Foley,
that.
yeah.
Foley, yeah, the picture with his feet. So those guys,
the Hobbit feet, yeah.
Those guys are the stuff, and then they just sign whenever they could, and then send it back.
It's interesting because they do a lot of the signings on WWE does all the signings. Panini is there and watching, but WWE organizes everything, which is why the lawsuit was such a big deal. And I think now that WWE has supposedly committed to filling the backfill or the backlog of redemptions, hopefully there's not a lot outstanding. I'm not seeing a lot of evidence yet that the redemptions are being filled because I have some really big ones now from Elite that need to be filled. I'm worried about Roman Reigns, John Cena's not signing, stuff like that. Cena signs everything too. So I don't know. Auto Relic's a lot bigger of a checklist. We're seeing a lot more people. Liv Morgan's on here. Cody's on here again. But we're getting some NXT people. I see JC Jane. I see Braun Breakers on here. One thing that does stand out to me, these are all just listed as Auto Relics. There are not a separate rookie auto patch subset for any of these people. So people like Lash Legend or Lola Vice or any of the people that would have rookie auto patches, they do not have their own separate subset. But you've got people like, Gigi Dolan who sells, Cora Jade who sells. These will all have the first off the line parallels. The base are numbered to 75. As they get down into the parallels, they'll have a 25, a 10, and a 101. And then the FOTL will be out of 5. So a lot of to go around here, but there's also some really sort of dud names on here. I don't see Damian Priest selling for a lot of money. I don't see Mako Satomura selling for a lot of money. Katana Chance, stuff like that. Alba Fire, Piper Niven, Those guys just don't sell, and that's your first off the line hit in $1,000 box.
Yeah, they just they have a lot of wrestlers that, I mean, yeah, they're just not people
Montez
that,
Ford.
yeah, Montez. I see Butch is one of the biggest ones that's always popping out for these. I do see a lot more than we saw in the other checklist that we're looking at. JJ McDonough, Joe Gacy, Katana, and like you said, Miko, Piper Niven's there. So these I feel like are going to be less, hopefully not redemptions. I feel like the other set might have a little more redemptions. And
This will be more live. Yeah, I think they'll have more live here.
Yeah, because I feel like they have to have more live cards, and this is probably the set that's going to be pretty live. But still, I mean, you pull it almost out of what, 25 or 5 or something. It's not going to be a life-changing card, so it doesn't justify the price of the box, basically.
Yeah, I mean, you got Rhea on here, you've got Liv Morgan, you've got Becky, you've got Roman, you've got all the big names are on here. Bliss, Charlotte Flair, Solo Sikoa has an auto patch here. It's his first. I don't think he's had auto relics outside of this, so that'll be an interesting card. Io Sky's on here. I mean, like there's some people that sell. So, but these will be the box hits. Like much like the jumbo auto relics, these will be box hits. So, there's a little bit to sort of get some more meat on the bone. Like you said, I think Rhea will be live, Becky will be live. Like those are big names that should be live, but so interesting to see a much, much larger checklist here for the auto relics instead of the jumbos, which only have 10 or so cards.
Yeah, I agree.
Ryan, anything to add there?
No, yes, there's just the extension of what you would expect to see. Really no surprises here. It's nice that they got the high end names in there, but like you said, this is the box hit on $1,000 box, and you get, the Miz.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, the cards look great.
I hate to be pessimistic about this because these cards will be absolutely beautiful. Like they are going to be, from an aesthetics standpoint, they're going to be really fantastic. But I have been down on breaking wax for years now because I just feel that the value is not there, and it's basically just a gamble at this point.
Right.
I think cherry picking singles, people are going to be a lot happier.
Yep.
That's my standpoint on it. But we got some names on there that are definitely popular, or definitely sellers. Nothing too new, nothing too crazy. It's pretty standard checklist.
All right, let's keep on moving here. So now we're into the number autographs. These are probably what Impeccable is known for. You've got a couple of new sets this year. This is the one that I thought was one of the cooler ones. These are SummerSlam moments. Basically, I don't know what these look like. I don't know what they are sort of commemorating specifically, but just from looking at some of the different numbers that are attached to it, like Becky is 21. She came back, beat Bianca Belair 2021. So I assume it's tied to either a return or some sort of moment. But there are, let's be honest here, one of the main appeals of this set, and it is 100% a set collector's type of an approach. We saw multiple people trying to put together the set. Only this year there is 2 101s. One of them is X-Pac and one of them is Rob Van Dam. You have Shawn Michaels at 2 copies as well. And then you have Rey Mysterio at 5. You have Batista at 5. So there's some really, really low numbered ones, as well as Mankind at 96, Lawler at 93, Bret Hart 94, and another giant Hogan one. But there's Roman Reigns at 22. Those are going to be big cards. I think these could end up being 4-figure cards, especially the 101s. So just because everybody's chasing some of these sets, this is going to be an interesting one. It's an interesting that they chose SummerSlam, but I guess because it's coming out, beginning of the spring, maybe they had some different thoughts around it. But it's an interesting sort of choice for a set. I'm just curious what you guys' thought is on this.
Yeah. Well, SummerSlam, it's iconic to WWE. So, I think that I'm pretty excited to see those cards. My only thing, redemptions, man. You have Undertaker there. You have Hogan in Immaculate. He was a redemption. I don't know if these are going to be live, but they do have a pretty cool set. I think these hold value for sure. I've noticed that last year's Impeccable had those championship inserts, the WrestleMania ones as well, and those hold pretty good value. But
yeah, and they're gorgeous. Oh, just absolutely gorgeous cards.
I pulled a Stone Cold Steve Austin from Impeccable a couple last week, or I think it was last week, and it looks way better in person. So these cards are pretty cool, and like you said, it's known for that. Impeccable for WWE. I know it's only second year, but it's known for having those really cool. So I'm excited for these. I mean, I wish we had a little preview, but I guess this is what keeps people, they're going to want to follow
a little bit
and guessing. Yeah, because I mean, you have your people out there that chase Roman, that chase Cena, Hulk. I mean, Flair, you, Becky. So those are the spots that are definitely going to be selling for sure. The only one from there that I see that's kind of a little down would be Alundra Blaze, but she has a higher count out of.
It's like Johnny Rodz from last year. Johnny Rodz last year had like 96 of them or whatever. It was
honestly,
not
good. I think they just have. I hate to say this, but I feel like they just have stickers they're holding on to that they just don't know what to do, and they just let's throw 94 in here or something like that. So
well, these are on card. These should be on card, and
I hope so. Yeah.
So Undertaker at 8, Cena at 7. I mean, those are giant cards. Like those will be 4-figure cards, easy. Like this, it'll be a good looking set.
Yeah, it should be legit. So I'm excited to see SummerSlam.
Ryan, say your piece before we move on. I know you say it every year.
What do I say
about the legends who have died?
So Edgar, my standpoint, and this is more with the I'm gonna say it for the Hall of Fame cards, because that's really
all right, well, that's next. So let's go to that.
Hold on. So what I'm gonna change my stance on this particular part. I love cards that are numbered to a specific number that ties into an event or a year. I like sets that are like this. I like when you don't have the same numbering. I like when you have short prints that are going to be valuable strictly because they're low numbered, like the Drew McIntyre out of 20. This is a set collector's set, and I'm imploring you, for those of you watching this video, don't do this year with the guy the guy did last year, because what was a championship debut? She was a 101.
101.
And somebody sold. Okay, so somebody listed that card for like $1,100 opening bid with best offer, and I think he took $900 on it.
Yeah, it was not enough for that card.
That card, we already got confirmation that two guys would pay over $3 grand for it, $4 grand for it, right? On our other video, because they were chasing that set. If you pull these cards, these low number cards, this Rob Van Dam card is not just a regular Rob Van Dam card. Okay, this is a key piece to a set that people are going to collect. All right, don't sell yourself short.
Yeah,
there it is.
All right, let's move on to the other numbered. So these are ones that are more sort of easy to understand. That's why I kind of grouped them together. So you have the Impeccable Championship signatures, which last year is a continuation of that. You will have basically the number of titles that they won, and these will all be really low numbered. They were last year as well. Flair at 14, Charlotte Flair at 14, I think is the highest there. You also have the Hall of Fame, which we actually see what they look like. Again, gorgeous cards. And then for the first time ever, you have the IC Championship debuts as well. So instead of the WrestleMania shows that they were on or their championship debuts, they also have that set in here as well. I'll get to that in a second. But these are some of the ones that I think are going to be crazy. Oops, sorry. So you have, again, Kurt Angle, the 101, Rob Van Dam, 202. You have another Wendy Richter at 2. Like there's, Tito Santana at 4. But you also have some really high numbered ones. Greg the Hammer at 84. He signs a ton. Tito Santana at 84 here. He signed a ton of them. Bret Hart, 91 for the Intercontinental. Like that's a big one. But there's some other ones that are, sorry, it keeps flipping here. There's a lot of them here that are really, really low numbered and really cool to see on the checklist. But Ryan, now you can say your piece.
Okay, here it comes. Edgar, I have always maintained that Hall of Fame collectors, no matter what the niche, no matter what the sport, are some of the most rabid collectors that you will find, no matter what, whether it's basketball, bowling, baseball, wrestling, football, whatever. Hall of Famers. I really would like to see this set extended out to those wrestlers who are no longer with us and who have not signed. And it can be just an insert card, like a Macho Man in the same design, numbered to 15, 2015.
That'd be cool.
And I think that that's a way to add value to the set.
Yeah.
It won't cost them anything because there's no signatures. Just have this card with just move the logo over to the left or to the right a little bit where the signature is and make it larger. A Macho Man card like this, numbered to 15, an Andre the Giant card numbered to when he got in, Mr. Perfect. I mean, the list goes on and on. And I feel like you could put those in one per box, maybe one or two per case or whatever. And it's just an added bonus that wouldn't really cost that much, but would really garner a lot of attention and a lot of great sales. I think you could really see some great sales. My idea. I mean, that's what I think. I will say that I'm a Brutus Beefcake collector. I don't understand why he's in this set again. He was in it last year, numbered to 19. I don't know why he's in this set. I don't know if it's a typo. I don't know. I mean, because the design is identical from what I can remember. And maybe it's a different picture. I have no idea. Maybe it's a picture of him actually at the podium getting inducted, because I think the other one was an action shot. So I don't know.
Okay.
But that's my 2 cents for the Hall of Fame cards. Again, you're going to have some really low number cards here for set collectors that are going to go crazy. I mean, some of these sets are going to be damn near impossible.
Yeah.
And Kurt Angle's got multiple 101s in this product. So
Yeah, no, that idea you had was actually pretty cool. I know people that collect certain sets of certain wrestlers like that, and if you have like a Macho Man, like you said, just without the auto, move him maybe to the center or something, and then that would really be really sick. But yeah, I like the set. I mean, I don't chase a lot of these sets. I never have. Maybe I will this time around, but I'm excited to see the Hall of Fame sets as well as like the IC Championship, which is something new.
Gunther. Yeah, Gunther for the IC Championship debut. I gotta believe that Chad, who is a huge Gunther collector, is gonna be all over that card. Really cool stuff. There's also this return set, which they've covered a lot of the ones that are 2022. So you have Austin, which is probably going to be WrestleMania 38. You have Braun Strowman, Karrion Kross, Cody Rhodes, all 2022. You have Undertaker 1 of 1. So when he came back in 2001, you have Hollywood Hulk Hogan is a number 2 for when he was probably NWO in 2002, and then Cena 2008, probably the Royal Rumble when he came back at number 30. So I think this is probably going to be one of the top sets. Seeing that Undertaker 101 might be the most expensive card in this entire product.
I agree. Yeah, that's going to be a chase for sure. The Hogan isn't that far either. Even the Cena. The Karrion Kross, I don't remember when he returned. When did he return for?
He attacked Drew McIntyre, and I can't remember if it was right after WrestleMania last year.
Okay.
Or some. It was a while ago, because he kind of like came back and then left again, and then came back with the Final Testament stuff or whatever. So.
Yeah, I do see. Yeah, and they're all low numbered, which is going to be the Cody Rhodes one is going to be
huge. Yeah.
They should have made that really short print. That would have been some a worth money making card out there. But I'm excited for that Cody Rhodes. I'll probably be chasing that Cody for a little bit.
Yeah, that Cody is going to be cool. It's probably going to be the Cody Vader, where he's coming up on WrestleMania. But yeah, this Hulk Hogan out of 2 and the Undertaker out of 1, probably the 2 most expensive cards in the entire product.
Yeah.
So let's quickly cover the bar cards, because I'm not a huge fan of these. I know a lot of people are. There are quite a few of them. They have both Legends and Active Stars. The Legends and the Active Stars all have 1 of 1 gold bars. Their regular silver bars are numbered to 35. So it'll have similar design, but the silver, this will be a 3 ounce of silver. So I think, I mean, again, a lot of the same names. We have 2 Hogan bars. We have, this year we have, some new names like Psycho Sid's on here. I saw that was interesting.
Yeah.
But IRS has a card. Fit Finley is probably the lowest name on the roster here for that side of it. And then going into the current people, you have like LA Knight's going to have a card. CM Punk will have a card in here. This is where Tiffany Stratton, I believe, is on the checklist. Yep, she's here. Oops, sorry. She's here right up here in the top part of it. So this is where Tiffany Stratton's only big one-of-one is in the entire product. That's probably a $3,000 to $4,000 card at a gold bar. People love these. These have sold like insane money. And probably the most expensive cards out of Impeccable last year were these cards. So it's good that they have a big checklist, but there'll be one per case for the silver bars, and then the golds are all one-on-one.
Yeah, the bars are always the chase. I mean, when you grab a case, you want a bar. You want to have the opportunity to get a bar. I opened one last week, and the bar was actually to the side.
Oh yeah, because it fell out. Yeah,
yeah,
they don't glue them in enough.
But you know what? I actually saw a post on Instagram that it was happening in other products. So I just hope that there's no
a problem.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and then the guy that I broke it for or ripped it for. He was like, "Can you try to move it?" And if I would have moved it, it just would have just came off completely with the card. So I just left it like it is. But yeah, like you said, Tiffany's a big one. I mean, I go back to Tiffany and not having autos, and I guess we're chasing a bar for Tiffany, but it's the odds of hitting a bar, man. It's
tough.
It's tough, yeah, because I mean, obviously, when you break a case, you're always hoping for a big name, and then you always get like an Otis, and you're just like, oh shit, So
yeah,
I do like
it's
the bar.
It's a fucking case killer when you have the bar. Just I get it. I think that the main thing I think we're missing here is in football and basketball, they do have autograph bar cards. We do not have that yet in wrestling. We have now 2 years without that. I think that's a miss.
Yeah, definitely. On these, so the logo cards, they're both gold and silver, right? So Tiffany has a gold. Yeah, okay. All right.
These are I just copied the checklist because they're the same.
Okay.
But I mean, like you've got names like Wes Lee, not probably going to be too big of a chase. You've got, Montez Ford again, Kofi Kingston's and everything. Sorry, CM Punk's my last one. But I mean, like, I think there's some good legends here. We've got The Rock has a bar card. Ultimate Warrior sold for a ton of money last year on the gold 101. Hogan has two of them. His sold both over $2,000 or $3,000 each last year. So I mean, like, I think these are probably the chase alongside the numbers. Ryan?
Yeah, the gold cards are definitely hard to hit. I mean, I've never opened a gold card or seen one open. I mean, you have the chases. You have Vegas.
They're impossible.
Yeah, you have Roxanne Perez that has one. CM Punk. I mean, we haven't talked much about CM Punk, but CM Punk having his first, card there. So, I mean, the CM Punk might be as popular as the Tiffany Stratton, because that, and then Bray Wyatt. I keep hearing people talk about the Bray Wyatt bar. They're going to be chasing that for sure. So,
he's here too.
Yeah, you have your jobbers there too as well, but hopefully I don't get an Otis. That's all I don't want. Watch my first
Ryan,
piece.
Anything to add, Ryan?
I love the Legends collection checklist. Looks really great. Was Yokozuna in last year?
I don't think so.
I don't think he was. That one sticks out to me. I love that China is in there. I love that Eddie Guerrero's in there. I love that Piper's in there. I mean, I really dig this set.
They've added a lot of names for sure. This is not as big. This is much bigger than last year.
Yeah, I really dig this checklist. It looks really, really good. Really good. Yeah, really, really happy with it. Looks really good. That's all I can say.
So let's move on to the last thing here on our checklist highlights. CM Punk is making his debut. I think in all he's missed since 2013 was his last or 2014 Chrome, I think, was the last time I saw CM Punk in a WWE set. So it's been 10 years. This is his re-debut, I guess. Shot is from Survivor Series, and it looks awesome. Love the base card design. Last year's base card design was one of my absolute favorites of the year. I think it'll be just as good this year. He does have both the gold and silver bars, but no autographs yet. I expect it at the earliest he's going to have autos in Immaculate. I think we could see him in Prism if they want to hold him and make Prism a big deal. Having autographs in Prism would be huge for 2024. So I think these are big cards. I think that this platinum card could be a 4-figure card. But interested to hear what you guys are thinking.
Yeah. I think this is the second CM Punk card they released recently, because I know they released the Panini. What was it called?
Oh, the instant. Yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
So I grabbed the 1-on-1 of that one, so I have the 1-on-1 of that one.
Oh, do you? Wow. Okay, cool.
I grabbed one. I was quick on it. Just click on that.
Yeah, you were a human bot, just grabbing that right as it's
yeah. So I do have that one, but yeah, like I said, I mean, the CM Punk card is just thing. I think the bar is going to be his biggest chase. I mean, the base is cool, but people are looking for the bar for CM
Yeah, that
Punk.
gold bar is going to be humongous, and that'll be a giant card. Giant card. I know a lot of CM Punk collectors out there. They all want his WWE stuff. Too bad he doesn't have autographs. I think it's still too early. Production timelines are usually 8 to 9 months on
Chris
autograph
Brancato.
cards. Yeah, he loves CM Punk. So, anyways, I think it's cool he's in here. I think it's. I didn't expect him to be here already. I think the delays really helped. Because remember, all of this was built a while ago. The lawsuit sort of delayed everything. I'm really happy that he made it in the set. I think this is a big ad. Maybe makes up for some of the other misses, but his cards will be. I think his base card could be $100 card, honestly.
Yeah.
This checklist is actually identical to what Macho Man had last year. He just had the base cards, the parallels, and the 2 bar cards. So obviously a different situation. CM Punk is still with us. Would have been nice to get autographs. I mean, like I said, if you could have gotten Punk and Stratton autographs, I think you justify the $1,000 price tag all day long. This, unless you hit one of those low numbered SummerSlams or Hall of Fames or something like that, I don't see it. It's going to be rough. It's going to be a rough ride.
So Edgar, closing thoughts on Impeccable. What do you, if you had to pick one thing to be excited about, maybe one thing you were hoping to see but didn't, what would be your 1-2 punch there?
I'm excited for the inserts with the championship, the Hall of Fames. Those are pretty cool. Those are hard to hit as it is. I've been looking at the last 2 cases to hit one in each case. I hit a Kane and then a Stone Cold Steve Austin. So
nice.
Yeah, so those are cool to hit. I mean, when you see them, you're just like, I mean, me as a breaker, I see all these cards all the time, but those are pretty sick to see. I mean, I'm disappointed with Tiffany. Thea is not even in it. I mean, how do you miss Thea? That's
I don't know. That's crazy.
Yeah, how do you miss Thea? Maxine's another one. Sol Ruka. Did we even talk about Sol Ruka?
No, we didn't. Yeah, she's not on this either. Yeah.
I just don't understand how you miss the top chases. When I sell cases, those wrestlers are the first to go. Tiffany, Sol, Maxine, and then also Thea. So it's a rough thing. I think they missed with that. I think everyone else is in there. I mean, CM Punk would have been nice to get an auto, but like you said, production doesn't allow it. I just hope that there's not as many redemptions as there are in Elite, because Elite does have a lot of, for it being Elite and that it does have a lot of redemptions. But I mean, everyone's going to be excited. We have a new product. Everyone wants to chase, and
yeah, I think we're kind of splitting hairs a little bit. I know the cards will be absolutely gorgeous. The patches will be ridiculous. Like these cards will be amazing to look at. But we're harping on something that Panini really doesn't control as much. Building the set, like they probably built this as a $500 box, $400 box, and it just didn't get there. And it's like, that's not something that we can really hold anybody accountable but Blowout and DA for. But like, I think in the end, like the cards will look really nice. And if you're a group breaker, you sell the slots, people are sort of releasing some of that burden by buying in at a lower slot price. You can still buy Rhea Ripley. You can at $100, you can buy Becky, you can buy whatever, like I have. So I think that there's ways to make this work. But to your point, I think there's some big names that are glaringly missed, especially because they were in Elite. Like there's no Lola Vice, stuff. There's no like any of those names that were all over Elite, and it's just unusual. But they tend to have smaller checklists for high end products, and this is the first high end product design of the year. Prism, Select, Revolution, they were all sort of like flagship type products. This is really the first high-end SKU, so the checklists are a little bit smaller. But cutting Tiffany Stratton, even back when this was built, is still a mystery to me.
Yeah, I don't get how they missed so bad with those. But like you said, we're all excited. I'm excited. I mean, I want to break this already.
Exactly.
It'll be cool. I hope that the price drops. I hope it doesn't increase, but you don't know where that's going to go. That's the problem. Like you said, they started at 420, 450, and now aftermarket they're at 800 a pop, dude. Like that's ridiculous.
Now, it's funny because if this was a $400 or $500 box, we would be singing the praises to everyone. Like, this 100%. Is awesome. Like, our complete composure would change.
Personal cases, this is a $500 box. I mean, last year when I paid $1,500 for the case of Impeccable, I was like, fuck, this is a lot, Yeah. But now, like, holy shit, it's not. It's.
I mean, in a case of Elite is like what, 2,400, 2,600 or whatever it is. So Elite's not cheap either.
Yeah,
and I think I don't know why.
Yeah, it's Elite. I saw Elite once. I mean, I'm always looking at prices, right? I go to every website and I use other websites and either local card shops, like I'll use them too. But yeah, it was at 3,000. The cheapest I've seen it was 22, and now it's at 24. But I do see a drop. I do see it dropping, but David Adams and all these people are just keeping it at 26, and it's going to hold there. If people keep buying it, why would they lower it?
Yeah, the breaks are selling out. Yeah, it's tough, man. It's hard to say the market can't support it when the slots are selling, the boxes are moving, people are smashing that buy button on the first off the line at $1,000. But again, when Prism launched in 2022, there was no Whatnot. Like, Whatnot was not a thing, and I think our demeanor on the product would have changed dramatically if Whatnot was there to support a lot of the release the way that it is now. Because when first off the line for 2023 hit, it was gone. And you cannot find boxes of either 2022 or 2023 Select, Prism, anything, because it's all been broken to hell. And because people want it.
Yeah, Select 2023, I'm hoarding the cases. I'm keeping them and I'm using them as mixers because I think people still want that feed of Select. I do have a couple of Impeccable FLTL cases, but I paid an arm and a leg for them, and they're just gonna sit there for a little bit and see how I mix them into product because the price is just ridiculous.
All right, Ryan, your 1-2 punch. What are you most excited for? What did they miss? Let's we can close with that and then get on to a big announcement.
Okay, so no quad autographs this year. I saw
there are triples and duals. Yeah, there are.
No
the
quads.
Checklist is kind of
no quads. I think that this is the perfect product to introduce cuts into.
That's a good call.
I think this is the perfect product to slip a couple cuts into. And you can find them. Piper, perfect. I mean, they're out there. Macho Man, they're out there. This is the perfect product. The cards themselves will be absolutely beautiful. They are going to be great looking cards. They're going to be pretty. I'm happy because my guy's in there. I got a little bit of something for me to chase. It's not going to cost me an arm and a leg. I think that, if your collecting focus is in this set, whatever person that may be, feel grateful because everybody didn't make it. So it's just, another thing for us to chase. I think the cards are going to, like I said, they're going to be beautiful. $800 a box is way too much for this. For personal breaks, obviously. If you're breaking it with a breaker, there's different ways to get around that and make it affordable so everybody can play in the sandbox. But I think that the average Joe walking in off the street is not going to drop.
You can't do it. Yeah, it's too
drop $800. So
and 800 isn't a number that's there. I mean, I think the lowest I've seen is 850, maybe 825, and I feel like.
So,
but they're moving, and I like that's the thing. Like the market is supporting it. Because of the way
then I can buy the singles I want.
Yeah. I think that's the reaction that a lot of people are having is like, I'm going to wait for singles. Singles are going to like, yes, we understand that going after singles is always the best way to go. Like it's like, since the dawn of time, we know buying singles is always better than buying the cards you want is always better than buying the wax. However, we all chase the dragon. Right. We all want that hit. We all want to get it into the veins. Like, yes, seriously, like there is a dopamine addiction here there's no better feeling. I swear to God, legal, non-sexual feeling than pulling a giant card out of a box. Like they're like, take the illegal sexual stuff out of it, the illegal and sexual stuff out of it. There's really no better feeling than pulling a giant card. And this is one of those products that will have those. It will have those gold bars. It'll have those numbers. So like, yeah. So just to wrap up, we have a big announcement here. I talked about it on Twitter earlier this week, talked about it on Instagram. One of the accounts, Coach Co Collectibles, talked with the national president, Al Durso. Al mentioned that there's going to be 3 trade nights at the national convention this year. They will feature specific collector groups having their own space. Main event 2 will be taking place inside the Friday night trade night, officially part of the National Sports Collectors Convention this year. Huge development. Cleveland sucks for venues, like absolutely blows. Everything's a half hour away. This time the main event will be inside the IX Center. Really easy to get to if you're going to be at the show. We're going to have tons of stuff to give away now because the cost is reduced dramatically for not having to find a venue in the middle of Cleveland. So we're going to make this just as big as it was supposed to be. Can't wait to have it. Huge announcement there. More details to come. Make sure to follow all of our Twitter accounts and social media accounts. We're going to be launching the mailing list coming up here in April. You will not need an invite this year, but you will need one of these. We will be having limited sets available, and the only way to get them is likely going to be through the mailing list. So we want to make sure that you guys sign up for that. Just going to be an enormous event. It was already enormous last year. It's going to be bigger this year. Cannot wait.
We are officially minted.
Yes. This is a part of the show. We are center stage at the national convention. You can't get any bigger than that. It's going to be great.
There's so much work that goes into this. You guys have no idea. And there's a lot of people behind the scenes that make this thing happen. It's been talked about for years. It finally came to fruition last year, and now we're on the docket. We're on the docket. We're going to be front and center. So if you can get to Cleveland, man, if you can get to Cleveland for one day, make it Friday so you can go to the show. If you've never been to a national, go. It's fantastic. It's incredible. If you can only go one day, I don't care if you've got a wedding, a birthday, an anniversary, get there on Friday, come see us Friday night, hang out, and fly out Saturday morning. All right?
It'll be a good time.
You guys there. It's going to be awesome.
Huge thanks to RBI Crew 7 and Sports Card Junction for being our primary sponsors this year. They're going to do a huge amount of stuff. CGC is going to be involved in the event this year. Had a wonderful conversation with Suze. Might have some free grading, might have some other stuff. Who knows? It's going to be insane. They're part of it. I mean, guys, wrestling is here, and we are going to be at the National with all bells and whistles involved. So really excited. Edgar, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate you taking the time on a Sunday night here. I know it's tough. Why don't you tell everybody where they can find you again? Give them your plug here, and hopefully you can get some additional sort of people for your slots.
So the Facebook group is GB Wrestling. So just search GB Wrestling. You'll see my my Ghost logo. On Instagram, it's ghost.breakers. And then on Whatnot, GhostBreakers with an extra S.
Awesome. Yes, check out his breaks. He does a great job, and he's got a killer collection. Won't sell any of it, but it's there, and you should see what he has because it's awesome. But it's his channel is great. They do great breaks, great prices. Thank you for hosting me, buying up all of your Becky slots over the last couple of years.
They're there, man.
So yes,
to the computer.
So great to have you on, Edgar. Thanks for being a new face on the channel. We always like to have new people on. Ryan, where can they find you as well?
Instagram, Non-Sport Showcase.
Nice.
Getting in a bunch of brand new stuff, actually. So the chase never stops. And like I said, Cleveland, be there on Friday.
Yep. I am Adam Gelman. You can find me at WWE Gelman on Instagram and at SC Uncensored on Twitter. Again, follow us for all the information on main event. covering a lot of stuff for Impeccable coming up. Edgar's got some breaks he's going to be filling here shortly, so stay tuned there. Thanks again, guys. Wonderful talking to you.
Cool. Thank you. Thank you, guys.